Hello there, my loyal royal watchers. Pour yourselves something strong, because today we're diving into what might be the most unexpected royal comeback story of the decade. Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, is making a triumphant return to the royal fold under King Charles's reign, and the timing couldn't be more fascinating. That's right. Our beloved Fergie, once considered the ultimate royal outcast who couldn't even be in the same room as Prince Philip, has somehow emerged as the surprising savior the royal family desperately needed, amid Prince Andrew's ongoing Jeffrey Epstein-related controversies. Now, I know you guys are excited for more mulligs, but before we delve into further discussion, if you haven't subscribed, come on, guys, what are you waiting for? Hit like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell ASAP. So now, can you believe how the tables have turned? The woman who was once photographed having her toes sucked by her financial advisor while still married to Prince Andrew, who went bankrupt, who hustled everything from Weight Watchers to juicers on American shopping networks to make ends meet. This very same Duchess is now being welcomed back with open arms to royal events that have excluded her for nearly 3 decades. If that's not a plot twist worthy of The Crown, I don't know what is. Let's start with the bombshell news that the FBI has officially ended its investigation into Prince Andrew's links to convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. According to a 2-page memo, investigators did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. Now, we all remember that Andrew settled a lawsuit with Virginia Giuffre for an undisclosed sum without admitting liability, and this cloud has hung over the royal family for years. But with this development, there's been a subtle yet significant shift in how the palace is handling the Andrew situation. And surprisingly, Sarah Ferguson seems to be at the center of this new strategy. What makes this situation particularly fascinating is how King Charles, amid his own cancer treatment, has apparently turned to Fergie. Yes, Fergie of all people, to help rescue the royal family's image during this delicate time. It's almost unbelievable that the woman once banned from Prince Philip's presence, the Duchess who's been kept at arm's length from major royal events for decades, is now being relied upon as a steadying influence. Talk about a redemption arc. The signs of Fergie's rehabilitation have been building gradually, but unmistakably. First came her surprise appearance during the traditional Christmas walk to church at Sandringham in 2023. Her first time joining that public procession since the 1990s. This wasn't just a casual invitation. It was a deliberate signal from King Charles that the old grudges were being set aside in favor of family unity. Royal watchers immediately recognized this as a significant shift from the late Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip's approach, which had kept Fergie firmly on the outside looking in for decades. Then in June 2024, jaws dropped when the Duchess attended the opening day of Wimbledon Championships, not just anywhere in the stands, but in the prestigious Royal Box. This was her first appearance in that elite seating area since 1988, when she famously attended with her then sister-in-law, the late Diana, Princess of Wales. Accompanied by her daughter Princess Beatrice, Fergie's return to this coveted space sent a clear message that her status within the royal hierarchy was being elevated. But the most shocking development of all, King Charles has personally invited Sarah to attend Royal Ascot 2025, not merely as a regular guest, but as a participant in the royal procession. For those who understand the significance of Royal Ascot in the royal calendar, this is the equivalent of being welcomed back to the inner sanctum with a brass band and red carpet. Fergie hasn't been part of the royal procession at Ascot for nearly 3 decades. This isn't just a casual invitation. It's a full rehabilitation of her royal status. What I find absolutely fascinating about this situation is the stark contrast between how the late Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip handled Fergie versus King Charles's approach. While the Queen maintained cordial relations with her former daughter-in-law, even allowing her to continue living at Royal Lodge with Andrew after their divorce, Prince Philip was famously unforgiving of what he viewed as her betrayal of the family. There are countless stories of Philip leaving royal residences the moment Fergie arrived, refusing to be under the same roof as her. a stance that effectively kept her excluded from major family gatherings for decades. Charles, meanwhile, seems to be taking a more pragmatic and perhaps compassionate approach. With the monarchy facing unprecedented challenges, from his own cancer diagnosis to Prince Harry's ongoing estrangement to the ongoing Andrew scandal, Charles appears to recognize that the family needs all hands on deck. And Fergie, for all her past indiscretions, has remained fiercely loyal to the institution, even when it rejected her. She's never written a tell-all book, though she's written plenty of other books, never given a scorched-earth interview about royal life, and has consistently expressed respect and admiration for the royal family, even when they were actively excluding her. This loyalty stands in stark contrast to the behavior of certain other former royals, who shall remain nameless, though they're currently residing in Montecito and seem to never miss an opportunity to criticize the institution that gave them their platform. Perhaps Charles sees in Fergie something valuable, someone who made mistakes, faced the consequences, but never turned against the family, even when it would have been financially lucrative to do so. In an era where loyalty seems increasingly rare, Fergie's steadfastness despite her exile might be exactly what Charles values. Let's not forget that Fergie has also demonstrated remarkable resilience throughout her tumultuous life. After her divorce, she found herself millions of pounds in debt and had to completely reinvent herself. She became an author, a spokesperson, a charity worker, and yes, even hawked juicers on American television, doing whatever it took to support herself and maintain some semblance of the lifestyle to which she'd become accustomed. There's something undeniably admirable about her hustle and refusal to be defeated by circumstances that would have crushed many others. Moreover, Sarah has faced her own health challenges with courage and transparency. In 2021, she was diagnosed with breast cancer and underwent a mastectomy. Then in 2023, she revealed she'd been diagnosed with malignant melanoma. Through these ordeals, she's used her platform to advocate for early detection and cancer awareness, turning her personal struggles into an opportunity to help others. Perhaps Charles, facing his own cancer battle, feels a certain kinship with her in this regard. Another factor in Fergie's rehabilitation might be her unwavering support of Prince Andrew despite everything. While the rest of the world recoiled from the disgraced prince, Sarah stood by him, not defending his actions or associations, but demonstrating a personal loyalty that transcended the scandals. For a family that values loyalty above almost all else, this steadfastness couldn't have gone unnoticed. The timing of Fergie's reintegration is particularly interesting given the current state of the royal family, with Catherine, Princess of Wales, stepping back from public duties during her cancer treatment, and Princess Anne recovering from her recent horse-related injuries. The working royal ranks are looking rather thin. The addition of Fergie to even a few key events helps create the impression of a fuller, more unified family front, something desperately needed as the monarchy navigates these challenging times. What's particularly fascinating is that Fergie's comeback isn't just being tolerated, it's being actively facilitated by King Charles himself. This suggests a deliberate strategy rather than a reluctant accommodation. Charles, known for his vision of a slimmed-down monarchy, seems paradoxically to be expanding the circle to include someone who's technically not even a royal anymore. This apparent contradiction speaks to the pragmatism Charles is bringing to his reign, recognizing when strict adherence to principle needs to give way to practical considerations. The contrast with how Prince Harry and Meghan have been handled couldn't be more striking. While the Sussexes remain firmly on the outside looking in, with no signs of reconciliation on the horizon, Fergie, who objectively caused far more embarrassment to the royal family in her day, is being welcomed back into the fold. The message seems clear. Loyalty and discretion are valued above all else. Fergie may have made mistakes, but she never weaponized her royal connections against the institution itself. She never sat down with Oprah to air the family's dirty laundry or published a memoir detailing private conversations with senior royals. This rehabilitation of Fergie also offers an interesting glimpse into how King Charles might approach other family rifts. If he's willing to forgive and reintegrate someone who was as firmly excommunicated as Sarah Ferguson, might this suggest an eventual path back for Harry? Or is the key difference that Fergie, despite her mistakes, never actively attacked the institution or its key members? These are fascinating questions to consider as we watch this royal drama unfold. Another aspect worth noting is how Fergie's daughters, Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie, have likely played a role in their mother's rehabilitation. Both have maintained close relationships with their cousins William and Harry, serving as bridges between the warring brothers at times, and have remained steadfastly loyal to the monarchy while supporting their disgraced father. Their dignified behavior and commitment to royal duty, despite the challenges facing their immediate family, has surely helped smooth the way for their mother's gradual return to the fold. It's also worth considering the public reaction to Fergie's reappearance at royal events. Far from the scandal and outrage that once followed her every move, her Christmas appearance at Sandringham and her presence in the royal box at Wimbledon were met with mostly positive responses. The British public, it seems, has a capacity for forgiveness that matches their long memories. After decades in the wilderness, Fergie has perhaps served her penance, and her humility and good humor throughout her exile have earned her a measure of public goodwill. There's something quintessentially British about this gradual rehabilitation. Not a grand announcement or formal reconciliation, but a series of small, meaningful inclusions that signal a shift in status without anyone having to explicitly acknowledge it. It's the royal equivalent of British understatement, making a significant change while pretending nothing much is happening at all. So, what does the future hold for the Duchess of York now that she's being welcomed back into the royal fold? While it's unlikely she'll ever become a working royal with official duties and sovereign grant funding, her presence at key events like Christmas, Wimbledon, and now potentially Royal Ascot suggests she'll be increasingly visible as part of the extended royal family. This halfway status, not quite in, not quite out, seems to be the new model being established under King Charles's reign. For Fergie herself, this rehabilitation must feel like vindication after decades of exclusion. She's weathered scandals, financial troubles, health scares, and public humiliation, yet somehow emerged with her essential good humor and loyalty intact. There's something almost Dickensian about her journey, the fallen woman who endures years of hardship and exclusion before being ultimately redeemed and welcomed back to the place that once rejected her. As royal watchers, we're witnessing a fascinating shift in how the monarchy operates under King Charles, perhaps more flexible, more forgiving, and more pragmatic than his mother's reign. The rehabilitation of Sarah Ferguson may seem like a relatively minor development in the grand scheme of royal affairs, but it offers intriguing insights into Charles's approach to family dynamics and his vision for the monarchy moving forward. What do you think about Fergie's royal comeback? Is King Charles right to welcome her back into the fold after all these years? Or should the monarchy maintain stricter boundaries around who's in and who's out? And what does this mean for other family members currently on the outs? Could we eventually see a similar rehabilitation for Prince Harry if he demonstrates the same loyalty and discretion that Fergie has shown? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this deep dive into royal family dynamics, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on the royal drama. Until next time, my royal watchers, keep your eyes on the House of Windsor, because if Fergie's comeback has taught us anything, it's that in the royal family, nothing is impossible and no exile is necessarily permanent. Ta-ta, and bye for now.